Okay. Hello. I've never done a live, but I'm going to do a live right now with Jerome Shaw. And we'll see where the conversation takes us. Just going to wait a minute.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome, awesome. You look like you out in nature.
I'm in the backyard. Yeah. The
The
best I
the
can do.
connections the
If you...
connection's a little yeah.
Okay, one sec.
Are you in a good spot?
Am I good now? Or is the connection still bad?
It's a little better.
Okay.
A little better. Let's see. It might be good now. It might be good now.
I really wanted to be outside, but well, if I have to.
No, it looks clear now. I think it
Okay.
adjusted. It just needed to
Okay.
get a little kink out.
Yay.
Awesome. Great to see you, Madison.
You too.
Awesome, awesome. You out there beaming. You in the sunlight, huh?
You know, I wanted to go in the sunlight, but I'm like, it's probably better here. But
No,
yeah.
but it looks like the sun is out.
Well, oh yeah. It's like,
Yeah. And
and
you
I saw
got some nice fruit around you. What are those, oranges?
these are tangerines, and the tree like next to it are oranges.
Ooh, sheesh. Them oranges and tangerines.
Yeah.
Man, you in the Golden State, right?
Yeah. I'm like,
Okay.
wait.
Awesome. 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 Well, great to feel your energy, great to be in your field today. I was wondering, there's sometimes I've seen you do this whenever you've had a video, Madison. Love your name, by the way. The way you spell it is so awesome.
Thank you. I know.
Sometimes you take a breath and you'll do a break with breath work.
Yes.
I was wondering it'd be cool. Maybe we could just do, just a short session. Perhaps you could walk me through it.
Me? I feel like
Yeah. I've seen you do it. I've seen you do it. Yeah.
I'm like learning from, I've learned so much from like this platform and like all the people.
Mm-hmm.
More so like, obviously I didn't learn anything from school really. So like this
Mm-hmm.
is like, I feel like I'm finally learning, and I'm like learning so much breath work and yeah. But I've never
Yeah.
like
Just a
taught it.
short one. Short one. We can do one of your favorites, just in and out. I saw you said you do it through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose. So you could just, do a short little session here.
Do you want to lead it?
All right, I'll lead it.
I'm already nervous. I've never done a live.
I'll lead it. I got you. So we'll do box breathing. You ever heard of box breathing?
Yes. Heard of
Okay.
it.
So we're going to inhale for 4. We're going to hold for 4. We'll exhale for 4. And then we'll hold for 4 again.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. 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 Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Few more. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. One more. Inhale, hold, exhale. Ooh.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Finally, her name came to me. I took Jewel's breathwork classes, so that's like what I kind of go off of.
Jules, is that the raw vegan family?
Oh, not
Or is
well.
that somebody else?
The
Somebody
other
different? The
that
other Jules, you talking about Chronic Dancer?
yes,
Oh, that Jules. Okay, there's two
yeah.
Jules. Okay, got you. Got you.
I love both of them. Yeah.
How
So
did you enjoy that? How did you enjoy her? Yeah.
I loved it. I recommend her. Like I loved her. She was like really gentle and talks you through all the nuances of what you would be feeling, and I enjoyed her a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Her work. I don't know if she's like offering classes right now,
Mm.
but yeah, that's where
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, Madison, was that the first time you encountered breathwork, or you had already been familiar with it?
um, the first time I took like a class, for sure, like someone walking me through it.
Mm-hmm.
I like knew about the only breath work I actually knew about for years was alternate nostril breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I loved it, but I wasn't even aware of breath work at the time. Like, um, so
Yeah.
you know,
That's a great one. That's a great one too. The Nadi Shodhana, you know, it's like purifying all the nadis in your body, you know?
yeah, yes, I love that one. Yeah,
Yeah. And
so
it's also, I guess with the nostrils, you're kind of balancing the right and left hemispheres of the brain as well.
yes, yeah, it's. I'm honored that you asked me to like lead a breath work because I feel like I don't like know what I'm doing ever. I'm just like doing. So, like people have already asked me for like help with detoxification and like
Mhm.
meal plans and either through like this platform or in person, and I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely open to it, but it's funny because I'm not saying like I'm a detoxification specialist, although like
Right.
I know about it, so
Right. Yeah. You only need to know, you know, like I feel like you don't need to be an expert, you know?
right.
If you know more than somebody else, you can help, you know? You only need to be one chapter ahead. There was this guy, Madison, and his name was Frank Abagnale. And he's the character that Leonardo DiCaprio played on the movie Catch Me If You Can with
Okay.
him and Tom Hanks, right?
Okay. I'm bad at movies.
Oh, it's
So,
all good. It's all good. So Frank Abagnale was like one of the world's greatest con men. He was like a con man to the T. He could convince anybody of anything, and he could just you know, develop rapport with a person immediately. He convinced people that he was a pilot and you know, flew a plane, and he had no license, no nothing.
Heard of this
He,
movie?
yeah. He went into a as a social studies teacher. He was a teacher at a school for a while before they caught him and found out that he wasn't even at the school. And he convinced the students that he was a teacher. All he had to do was be one chapter ahead.
Yeah.
And they believed him, you know? All he did was just stay one chapter ahead of the students, and he taught the class, you know?
I know it's because it's like I actually am still going through eczema and like things, and I don't necessarily want to wait till it's all healed. I'm like, I'd rather just share the journey. So, I mean, yeah, I know. I get in my head like, what do I have to help? But it's like, you know, we're all helping each other. So,
Right, right. I agree. You know, we all are. And so, you know, in our own ways. And we all go through that. You know, I go through the same thing when it comes to what they call imposter syndrome. You know, the feeling like I'm not enough, I haven't learned enough, I haven't gained enough or attained enough, you know, or sustained enough to be able to impart this with somebody else. But I feel like if you've been able to pull yourself up out of a situation, you're already qualified. You know, you don't need a certification to help somebody else. Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're doing this. You know, we see that you do it, Maddisun, with your content. I love the video you put out talking about the mind-body connection. You know, what inspired you to put that out? Because you were talking about very interesting things, like glimpses of health and even the aliveness of your face and all sorts of things. Like what inspired you?
Um, Definitely like the face thing. You know, Marcus and Kara, raw vegan couple. Um, he like writes. He's written a lot of ebooks, and one of them is like called "Heal Your Face," and it's
Hmm.
about how everything's connected. Um, I think if you know what to look for, you could probably tell like by looking at someone what they're going through inside. And it's just I haven't like read the book through, but like I've like gone through it, and it's just so interesting. So it's like here's like the colon. It's like that's a super easy one to like know. I can tell in myself if it's like tired or like it feels heavy
Yeah.
or like your face is dragging down. Like that's not normal.
Right.
So then I know like something's clogged. Um, and so like just feel like I hope the connection is
Oh,
okay.
okay, you're back.
Okay. But I was saying there's so many ways to heal that I feel like there's just whatever you're called to in the moment and what you can handle mentally and physically um, is like an important part because I'm just now getting into learning about more about dry fasting, but
Yeah.
I think I'm ready now. Like I wasn't ready a year ago when I started eating living foods, but I'm ready now. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like there's a place for everything,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, just being more aware of like your body and like being as much of an expert as you can at your knowing yourself and your physical form, not just like, you know, dealing with your emotions, I guess. It's all connected. It's so like
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. You know, it's like when we really come down to it, we're a lot more alike than we are different. You know, we have a lot of similarities as people and as a species, really. So if you know yourself deeply, then you can know someone else, you know, on that level.
The more I know myself, the more I feel connected to everything, you know, of course. So, yeah, for sure.
Wow. So when did you start this journey with living raw foods?
So I don't do you, you spoke with my friend uh,
Lexus?
Lexi or
Lexi.
and she actually was the first person to bring this to my attention.
Mm.
Like, I grew up with eczema, and it like got worse, and I saw these holistic doctors. Like, no one told me about living foods, and she brought that to my attention. Um, and so I started like a year ago eating this way, and then that opened the door to like everything else,
Mm-hmm.
like everything,
Mm-hmm.
just everything. I just feel like it just completely is like I've never had such deep cleansing and healing
Mm. Mm.
since it,
What kind of deep cleansing are we talking about? Like, were you able to evacuate parasites or mucoid or anything of that nature?
so like I coined it January 17th of 2021 for myself of when I like started like eating living foods,
Mm-hmm.
because I had tried previous and it went over my head
Okay.
for some reason. I did try it. I've done other things, like I've juiced, and I would like I did all these natural things, but like my health issues physically were getting worse. Like nothing was actually getting better until this year of living foods. Mind, body, spirit, like everything. It's like no wonder I struggled so much with my mind. Like my body was like needed that help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Needed the like to stop cooking the foods and to stop like, fasting, I guess, basically. Um okay, what was your question? There's like so
Well, did you see anything? Did
Oh,
you
oh.
notice? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
When I did start this last year, I did a 3-month parasite cleanse. Like that's
Woo.
how I started the raw vegan thing.
That's how you started. You kicked it
That's
off
how
like that? Hey.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
So like super low sugar fruits like berries. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I did berries, pineapple, and like papaya.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the rest. So when I had like a date for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
like bringing me the fruit date, that was amazing. 3 months in, because like I could have like fruit again,
Yeah.
which the fruit like does help, but I don't know. I've definitely got I've gotten way more parasites since that 3-month
Okay.
thing, for sure. I've gotten
So,
mucoid plaque out.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I've done
Wow.
juicing, water fasts. It's called Zen Cleanse.
Zen cleanse. What is that?
It's this, I feel like I would recommend it for someone who's like wants an easy way, because they send you, it's like fermented plants that, it's like equivalent to if you would take psyllium husk powder with juicing.
Okay. Okay.
So they send you all the stuff, right? And it's like a day or like 7-day you could do,
Mm-hmm.
and you just take it throughout the day. I feel like that's like pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't want to do like a long-term juice fast or something. I've actually, yeah. So I've done that.
Nice.
Previous living foods, I've done a lot of cleanses, I guess. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I did the liver gallbladder cleanse, and
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I've always been a tiny person, and like the little green pellets that come out from like something about they crystallize into these like green pellets because of whatever science, I don't know, the
Mm-hmm.
science of it, I forgot, but
I don't
a
know
lot
either. Yeah. Yeah.
out of me, and it's like, my like family's just like, if that came out of you, like I don't know what's gonna come out of me.
Exactly. Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. To have like stones coming out and just different things coming out. So, Maddisun, I would love to learn, because when you've seen these things coming out, like the stones, the plaque, the parasites, you know, what was going through your mind? Because, you know, a lot of people don't believe that they even have them. You know, you look up on Google, you type in mucoid plaque, and it might even say that it doesn't exist, you know, that it's a myth or something. Yeah.
I've seen it come out of me so many times. I've even posted like pictures. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to post too many pictures because I don't want people to be like, you know, but there, it wasn't just one time. Like more came out of
Mhm.
like all this stuff, and
Yeah.
it continues to come out. And like just by eating raw foods, like in the past year, it's like stuff would come out of me when I wasn't even trying.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. What do you feel like people underestimate about the environment or the terrain of their own bodies, you know, that would lead them to believe that they don't harbor these things?
Maybe they just the addictiveness of the food. They don't want to give it up. Um, I totally get it. I went, you know, a whole year like seeing those addictions. I mean, raw foods did go over my head at one point. Um, and the only reason I circled back was because the doctor said I had like hypothyroidism now and wanted to put me on like medication. And I was like, I will do anything. Like, I'm so growing up on a lot of medication, like, I'm so not about it,
Mhm.
obviously, anymore. So I was like, I'll try anything. So I tried living foods again. And I was like, I'm just gonna eat this like raw broccoli that I like marinated and see where it goes. And like, I just didn't stop since then. So I think you have to be ready for it because it's also like you have to be ready to heal. I feel like you have to be want to heal, like,
Okay.
because it will heal your mind as well. And like sometimes I think we want to experience duality in a deep sense of where it's like maybe we're not ready, you
Mm.
know.
Mm.
But I have to say it's a lot nicer to come back to oneness, and human words are so like limited at this point. The like deeper I get, you know, it's like more feeling than like I'm just trying to explain with the little words that I know how to explain it. But
I know the feeling. Yeah, I know the feeling, you know. And thank you for sharing that. That's really important for people to know that, you know, that there may come a time when, as they say, many people don't make drastic or profound changes until it's due to inspiration or desperation. You know, they either have to be desperate or they have to be inspired, you know. And that's why I love stories like yours where you're sharing your testimony of what's happened to you, what's happened through you, and it lets people know that they can do it too, you know, that they're not crazy, you know, for thinking these things and for wanting to feel good. It feels good to feel good. And I feel so many similarities. It's like, Maddisun, you were talking about being raised on medication. They diagnosed me with ADHD at a very young age. So I had years and years of medication, you know, the Adderall, Strattera, Concerta, the Ritalin, like all of that stuff. And when you talk about the mental aspect, how how has the mental aspect played a role in your life of the things that you've consumed or the things that have been in the body?
how's the mental, like through cleansing?
Yeah, through cleansing, and also just what sort of mental challenges have you faced? You know, because I know that's been a big part in your journey, not just the physical aspect, but the mental aspect.
Yeah. um I grew up on a lot of stuff too. Yeah. I think, I mean, throughout my whole life, it's definitely been an upward journey. Like there was the point where I took myself off all medication, um, just abruptly.
You just went
And
cold?
yeah, my mom's like, "You're not supposed to do that." I'm like, "I'm fine," because it was like antidepressants, and they're like, "You're not supposed." No, I'm done. It's like annoying.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
I
I
was.
love that. I love that. That takes guts. That takes a lot of guts. Yeah. Yeah.
I think I intuitively, so like, I knew throughout the years, and
Hmm.
I got more frustrated. It's like, it's all in the mind. It's like, okay, but it's like I was missing the body. Like I didn't understand
Hmm.
how to make it run better. And like, you know, I don't know. I get the whole mind construct, but like we do have the body. And once I stopped eating like cooked food and processed, I feel like my mind finally cleared up.
Mm. Mm.
Like like my third eye, everything was blocked
Mm.
from all the processed like, and it's such a simple, um, it's a simple fix to like just don't do the eating thing, in a sense, you know, just as simple as like just that alone will help you tenfold,
Hmm.
your mind. Um,
Wow.
so it's helped me know myself better, get more in tune. Obviously, when you fast, like that's the best. Like you don't have like outside influences disrupting you, and
Because did you feel like there were a lot of influences when you were eating the cooked food?
yeah, well, yeah, because in the start of stopping the cooked food, I could tell, like a few months in, I could finally like start to understand that I was like, oh my God, that's what's been blocking me so much. Like, I don't know, maybe I wonder if like I just I needed the help more. But because I know you can bring down information in any state, but for me, it was like such a drastic change. So I don't know. I definitely don't tell people what to do.
Right.
Um,
Right. It's just your own experience. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I can see it too. It's like your consciousness, finally, all these things that conceptually I knew I could embody in a way like never before. Um, and so the consciousness grows as you clean out your body and eat food or no food at all. Like, if you're gonna eat, like, eat some fiber. You want it to move. Like, I don't know, the concept of like just being stuck in there. And then I really do think that like your emotions get stuck in the food, and then it's
Mhm.
just in your body. And so when you're healing and getting all that stuff out, like so much is going to come up in your mind because you're like rehydrating all that crystallized plaque that
Mm.
was like stuck from,
Mm.
and like that carries all those emotions and like
Mhm. Oh
all
my
the stuff.
God. Oh my goodness. That's wow. That's very profound. So you're talking about like the stuck emotions because they do say that we eat our emotions, emotional eating. But when you're saying
Right.
that the food is stuck, if it's not moving, if it's not getting out of the system, then those are just trapped emotions that are just stuck there. They're just
Yeah, from whatever was happening at the time, right? Or whatever it may be, like what you were thinking while you were eating. You know, I really do believe, like, I intuitively know that, and like I feel like I've experienced it too. Um, so
yeah. What level did you experience it? Like when did you start to really find the connection between what you were consuming and that stuck energy or the feelings that you started to feel?
once it started getting cleaned out, like
Yeah, when did you really make that connection? Yeah.
I feel like I'm always making the connection of like, you know, I, I'm still going through it. Like I'm learning like every day.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah. Because it
it's
took
like
me. Yeah, go ahead. It's like what?
it's just like to the degree of like, um it's like I'll go through it and then I'll be like maybe a few months I'll go through it again in like a really deeper way, or like it'll just like root down more into like, okay, understanding the whole process.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like, Maddisun, that sometimes you have to feel that contrast?
Of lows and highs?
Because with me, I was in like a perpetual state of whatever you call it. I had no idea for years. You know, for years, I'm talking, you know, the macaroni and cheese, the hot dogs, the chicken, the hot wings, the Popeyes, the McDonald's, like all that stuff for years and years. And I didn't know that that wasn't, you know, I thought constipation was normal. I said everybody goes through this. I thought indigestion was normal. I thought, you know, all those symptoms that I had, those were normal for me. You know, I thought that was a normal way of life. I didn't know
Yeah.
that there was another way to live. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like miserable in the body. It's like, this is not how we're supposed to live. Yeah. And yeah, there's a lot to it, obviously, because it's just like a part of the like journey as well. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but talking about the physical body, yeah, I'm
So,
passionate about that part.
so for you, it's kind of in and out, up and down. You're getting epiphanies and realizations and new forms of enlightenment the more you go through the journey.
Yeah. Yeah. And like clearing my physical body out. So it's just like all one and the same. Like, you know, I still sit with myself about like why I have eczema and like when did it start? Like why did I choose to go through this, or like what stuck energy, or like is there for it to still be here? Um, I feel like I have a really good feeling about dry fasting. I haven't really talked about it much, like to people, but um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited about it. If I don't know.
What excites you the most?
Well, when I did it the other day, like I've done 2 24-hour so far, and I just loved it. I was like, I don't have to drink or eat anything. Cool. Just can like actually like do other things and focus on other things. Like this whole year has been about me transitioning for like living food. So it's constantly about like, how do I eat? Like, what do I eat? How do I eat? What time to eat? How much to eat? So I'm like, so much like food stuff. And then like when you take that first sip after dry fast, like even like the 24-hour one I did, I was like, I had a sip of coconut water and I was like, oh my God.
Gratitude. Gratitude.
So intense. Like I felt like it was a drug,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
basically, like that concept, because it is, but
You hit it. It feels like it hits you. I remember when I was really juicing in the beginning, and when I got to a level of detox to where I could taste like every ingredient. You know, your senses come so online, your taste buds come back online, your nose, your olfactory senses come back online. It's like everything gets a reboot, a reset.
mm-hmm.
And even, you know, I used to be the biggest caffeine addict. And so even a chai, like a chai latte, I felt like I poisoned my body. After taking a sip, I was like, what did I just, what is this?
That's funny you say that, because like I can't drink coffee like anymore. I'll get major crashes. My immune system lowers drastically. But like same like chai, like I'm better at green tea or like matcha even. For some reason the chai is like, for me, like it's funny you said that, because yeah, it's too much.
And
It's
it
a
wasn't, it never used to be too much, you know?
right, yeah. I grew up on the same diet too, like standard American diet, so I mean everything. And then I went like vegan and like thought I was doing my body good, but nothing helped. Like nothing was getting better until I stopped cooking my food.
Wow. That made the difference.
Yeah, and like I was trying like I was doing a lot of yoga back then and like really working on my mind, but eating
Mhm.
like cooked vegan. I mean, after college, my eczema like went head to toe, like insane. So um, I do love how people go into things, like you said, for inspiration and like the spiritual sense. Like, but I went into living foods because like suffering, like I felt like I was. So um, now I stay for everything else.
Mhm.
I stay for the clear mind. I stay for like the spiritual aspect. And
Wow. Wow. So
I
you
have to
went,
honor my journey
go
and
ahead.
like I just have to honor my journey and like I'm like, oh, I came here like because it was like a physical symptom, but it's like that's just what led me here, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Be okay with that.
I love that, Maddisun. It's like you went in for suffering, but you stayed for serenity, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you went in for pain, but you stayed for the peace.
Mhm.
you
I'm like I'm
know?
not leaving. You
Like no,
can't really go back.
yeah.
You can't go backwards once you've like seen everything
Mm,
so
mm.
much.
Some people
What
do.
you can't,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You,
Some people do.
but I feel like that's hard.
Mm, mhm.
That's hard.
Wow. So it really, it makes you wonder. It kind of begs the question because I had to ask myself that same question. Like, okay, when I was drinking all these coffees and all this caffeine and I was jacked up, and of course you had the crash and your adrenals and your levels are all out of whack. But I didn't feel as bad as when I went without it for a long time and then I reintroduced it to my body. So
Yeah.
when I put it back into my system that had been without it, it's like it had gotten rid of it. Now
Yeah.
it felt like I was poisoning my body on purpose.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It didn't feel like that before.
That's the thing when you like, yeah, when you get rid of something and then you try it again, you're like salt. I was
Yeah.
like, started feeling passionate about not using salt. And then when I like, now when I eat salt, I can just feel such the difference. And like, I used to like eat, what's called sauerkraut, like by spoonfuls. And now it's like, oh, that's just like too much. Like, I think it's the salt. Plus, like, I don't know. I don't know your, if you have opinions on fermented foods, but apparently, I
And,
mean, they're not all.
and salt is in everything, you know? You
Yeah,
look at yeah.
at this point, I'm like, I can't buy anything anymore. I'm just, I can't. Even the living hummus, like the majestic hummus, that has salt in it, you know? That's like
Wow.
a raw food thing.
But Maddisun, I love what you said earlier when you talked about dry fasting and the excitement that you had to be able to not eat and not have to drink. You're like, wow, you mean I don't have to? This is so
Yeah,
awesome. Like, who knew? Who knew that like
I know. I think we intuitively know, like,
Mm,
from birth that like it's not natural in a sense and
mm.
like it's not that normal um and the way we go about it obviously makes it 10 times worse. Like it probably wouldn't be as miserable growing up if we like knew a, if you know, yeah, because I didn't know about like any of this. I didn't know about fasting, breath work, like a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
people. So
Yep. Well, 4 years ago, I didn't know either.
mm,
That was definitely a big eye opener and a game changer for me when I discovered that we have a choice. I didn't even know we had a choice. I thought like, oh, you have to live like this and that's just it. It's just one of those
yeah.
unwritten, you know what I mean?
I kept saying to myself these last few years, or like when I was really going through it, like I have a choice, I have a voice. Because same, like I was always told what to do. um, I didn't know how to make decisions for myself, and so that's like a whole big thing. I'm still learning that.
Wow. So even you're becoming more autonomous, you know, self-sufficient. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like that's how, like, to raise kids that way, like, because you, like, I think it's a weird concept of, like, oh, you're 18 now, now you're an adult, now you can make choices, or however old. But it's like, shouldn't we, like, once the baby's born, it's like, yeah, you care for them in ways, but you want to treat them like their own being. And I feel like it's not really, like, treated like that. Like, you pretty
Mm.
much are told what to do, expected to do things. And um, I'm like, well, when it just made me, like, it's such, like, a mind trip. Like, well, then, like, when do I know, like, when is it okay for me to start making decisions for myself? Is now okay? Like, is okay now? You know? Like, oh, it's crazy.
We're good now? Like,
Like, can I be me now?
oh my goodness. My
Yeah.
goodness. You know, I really appreciate and I love the way that you put yourself out on your platform and the way that you talk about things that aren't as easy for most people to talk about, you know? And you're not just talking about times when you feel good, you're talking about times when you don't feel as good, you
Yeah.
know? When you talked about the relationship, you know, with your family and with food and then, you know, the feeling like you were drunk, you know, and just having those different sensations, you know, I was like, wow, you know, this is really cool that you're able to put yourself out there and you could possibly help somebody. You never know who you're helping by talking about these things.
Yeah. And I started, like, in the page for, like, showing what I was eating, like, my own journey. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, but I think I intuitively knew it was, like, something really good for me.
Mm.
So I just started it, and, like, definitely people responded, like, well.
Mhm.
So, and then, like, I don't know, I just found, like, even, like, the energy of, like, connecting through technology, like, I still love it because I'm like, these are the people that, like, understand. Like, there's very few people in my, like, physical reality that are, like, understanding what I'm going through and stuff,
Mm.
you know.
Wow.
um
Wow. You know, Madison. Oh, go ahead.
no, yeah, what you said, it is important to, like, I don't want to come off like, I like being inspirational and, like, showing that, but
Mhm.
also, like, I mean, it's not like rainbows, like, every single second. Like,
Right.
most of the time, like, deep going through it, like, hardcore. And I don't share, I mean, but it's our own journey, so it's like, that's personal, and, like, we don't all want to, like, we have a choice to, like, go through it alone. Like,
Mm.
obviously
Mm.
you don't want to divulge everything. Like, you want to, like, heal. I guess
Mhm.
it's up to the person. So, but I try to, like, make sure people know, like this is like, it's not, yeah, it's not all rainbow
Mhm.
21st.
That's the reality, you know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like perfection is not relatable.
yeah. I grew I grew up with that mindset, by the I grew up with a perfectionistic mindset. Like, junior high, they'd be like, let's all pick an adjective that describes us. And I wrote out perfectionist and, like, did this whole picture. And I'm like, I can't believe I did that. Like, what? Like, but that's, yeah. But yeah, it's not real.
Well, so you aspired to be perfect when you were younger?
I guess. I didn't even know that was, like, detrimental at the time.
How was it detrimental?
Well, I mean, I've always, like, I think I know how to push myself and, like, strive, and I won't give up. I think that's good. But the idea that perfectionism, like, I mean, everything's perfect in that divine sense, but I guess more perfectionists, like, your ego might think, like, something has to be a certain way in some, whatever it made up, you know. So in that way, I don't want to be a perfectionist.
Wow. Yeah, I agree. You know, when you're always reaching for something that you feel like you don't have within you already, you know? that expectation of where you think you should be. Like, oh, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not enough. You know, that feeling of lack, the feeling of scarcity keeps a lot of people down. It kept me down for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So how were you able to let that go, Madison? You know, because a lot of people, when it comes to perfectionism and feeling like they need to be perfect or have to get things right before they get things going, how were you able to just shed that?
Um, I I mean, I just have to talk to myself and um, kind of, I guess, talk myself through it because I still go through it. Like, I still have moments of that for, like, yeah, all the time. Um, yeah,
Mm,
just talk to myself a lot, knowing myself, knowing, like, I think it's just a part of the journey. It's like it's the whole thing.
mm,
Like, knowing how to work with yourself, knowing your cues, like what's going to upset you, like how to work through it. Push yourself, but not like I've also had a lot of like I'm still balancing the term of like forcefulness and cuz I've done that a lot and I've like I think I've forced myself to do things or like I had to do things. Um I've had positive outcomes from forcing myself though. So like I don't know cuz I do like the approach of like a gentle push as well.
mhm, mhm,
So maybe finding that balance um or maybe I'm just so used to pushing or like forcing myself that I'm relearning how to like do it with ease and like
mm,
just let the feelings flow and like not try so hard.
mm,
I don't know. The energies will like clear when necessary.
mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
does breathing help with that too? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm noticing that if my wherever it's like um blocked, like if it's blocked in my chest, it's like I can I don't have control anymore over like my own journey. So taking back that control with the breath, as simple as it sounds, and it's just like so true. Yeah.
Yeah, Madison, you know, they do say the truth is simple, you know. But we'd rather make it hard. You know, humans are complex, but the truth is so simple. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it.
Wow. You know, I love how you said, Madison, the way that you talk to yourself, you know? What do we say when we talk to ourselves? You know, like you're your own cheerleader. You root for yourself. You got your back.
Yeah.
You're on your side. Everywhere you go, there you are. You know, there's no escaping you.
Yeah. 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 It's like, yeah, there's so much to say that sometimes I'm like, I don't even know what. There's just like such the journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. You know, you were gonna say something a while back as well on one of your videos, but you stopped yourself. And you were talking about manifestations that as a result of what was going on in your inner reality, you started seeing things happen in your outer reality. You remember
Yeah.
what you were talking about?
Yeah. Like, everything's so one and the same. Like, when, like, the illusion of, like, our playground, it's like, it's one and the same. Like, if I'm feeling something, like an emotion, it'll happen, like, physically, and, like, vice versa. It'll show me it like what's going on in your like reality. I feel like shows you what's going on inside also.
How so?
What you're what you're aligning with and inside, it really does reflect. I guess it's hard to put into words, but like, and this is like a good example, like kind of on that same line. It's like, let's say you drink alcohol. It's like something like, because I think that happened to me one time.
What?
Where I, like in the past year, I think I've had like an alcohol drink like maybe like 3 times throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was alcohol where I had it, and then the reality start, like, you know, I like saw like this couple, like, I don't know, I just remember like thinking like, what am I inviting into my life right now? Because like just on the outside it was like couple fighting and like some just like really dark like energy reflecting on the outside, which I wasn't used to because I was like totally not having alcohol or any of those substances for like a long time. And so when I brought that back in, like that's a good example, I think, to show like um, how deeply reflected it's going to be in your life. Like, so like along those lines. Yeah.
Wow. So physical manifestations of what was taking place internally.
Yes.
And you could see it, like you could visually see the reflection.
Right. Yeah. 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 It's crazy.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is a maze. This life is a
Yeah,
maze.
for sure. Because there's a lot of folks that don't see that, like these things pass us by all the time. It's almost like they're indicators. They say the universe speaks in sign language, but we don't see the signs. But they're passing us by all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I feel like sometimes, like, I would tell myself, I mean, I think I've always been observant, even as a child, like, to that extent. But nowadays, it's like, sometimes I would tell myself, okay, I think I'm reflecting too much. Like, I need to, like, balance it out a little here. But I don't know, I can't, like, you can't not be aware. It's like, you're just constantly, like, aware of everything. You're like, I know everything means something. And, like, there is no coincidences, and everything's like so like put in place.
Wow. Wow. So you would say like this journey has allowed you to be even more cognizant. You're even more observant to your surroundings.
Yeah. Yes. With the living foods, like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yes, because I have a clearer mind, and I can tell that, like, even if I'm going through something, I don't feel like that heavy darkness to the extent of what I was feeling my whole life, basically, which is intense. Like, I mean, to think, like, when you kind of like see the other side a little more, you're like, oh my gosh, like, how did I go through that? Um, yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate your vulnerability and just, being transparent on where you've been and where you come from, the things that you've found your way out. It's like
Yeah.
you've gone through the dark. Yeah, go ahead.
And I think how we find our way out in that sense is like by going within. I mean, you're not going to find it any other way. Um, Once you find within, you start to realize like all the nuances of every game you've played here. And it's like, even though I thought I was out of the game, it's like I realized other little games that I was playing. And I'm, okay, let me like come back and like recalibrate and like get more in line again. And so the ego doesn't run the show.
Wow. Wow. That's like finding your way out the maze only to realize you're in an even bigger maze.
When will it end?
you, Maddisun, you ever seen The Godfather?
No.
Okay,
Gosh.
okay. Well, The Godfather 3, there's a scene in The Godfather, and many people know this scene, even if they've never seen the movie. But
Okay.
Al Pacino, he plays, the Don in the movie, Michael Corleone, and he's out of the life, you know? He's lived a life of crime for so many years, and finally he feels like his family is safe. He's gotten to a safe location. He's got the feds off of him. He's got people off of him. And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden, somebody comes and they whack somebody in his family, right? And he's like, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. He's like,
Was
no.
was that
And it's kind of
comical?
like,
Like,
yeah, yeah, it's very comical, very comical. But it's like you were saying, the games, like you stop playing that game, but then it's an even bigger game. It pulls you back. Yeah.
yes, yes. I mean, and the only way, I mean, I want to enjoy being human in a way that is in, like, I don't know, words, sovereign. I just want to enjoy it in a very peaceful way that, I mean, I do feel like there's divine order. Like, there is an order of life. It just in a way that, like, most of us weren't taught. So it's like coming back to that and like using our bodies and like manifesting in ways we've never done before. And it's like, I don't know, I guess we wanted to really see the darkness to like go through this experience and like come to like a different way. Like, I just don't think, like, we're not meant to be like rooted in the like stuck, like icky feeling energies. And like, we don't have to stay there. And people complain, but like, you have to also be willing to like do the work to get yourself out and like let go of things that are double-edged swords. Like, as yummy as cooked vegan food is, it's always a double-edged sword. And in order to like have these more lighter experiences and like love life in new ways, I have to like, let go of like these things that like, I don't know, we're just so used to. But there's other ways to experience and enjoy life. And
Always.
like, I don't feel like we've even seen like, I don't know how, if we've even seen a little bit of it, because like I feel like it's so magical that it's like, it's not gonna look like anything that we've seen before.
Oh,
I'm
I
excited
love.
for it.
You said what? Say it again.
I'm here for it. Like, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I'm here for it too. We're all here for, I love that perspective. I love that perspective. It's like, have we even scratched the surface? You know?
Yeah.
Do we
Yeah.
even do we even know? You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I just know I feel lighter and clearer and more at ease. And even though like I'll go through things, I can do it, and I know how to handle it better in different ways um, because my mind is clearer, so I can better help myself through
Right.
it. You don't have to be stuck in it for as long, or you don't have to like, you just realize like all these things that you do that are unhealthy, or like not treating yourself as like a worthy, gentle, like little being, like um yeah, being kind to ourselves.
That's a big one. That's a big one, Like they say self-love is the best love. Self-care is not selfish, you know?
Yeah,
Understand. Yeah.
I agree. I've never put myself first so much like lately, so it's amazing. And then like, you know, even my mom said I've like inspired her and like,
Oh wow.
yeah, so I know it's helping even, and I'm just trying to help myself because I'm
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
It helps everyone else, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's one of the neat side effects. You know, the neat side effects of self-care is like what you do for yourself, you do for others, you know?
Yeah.
Every time you're affected, you affect the whole collective.
Yeah.
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 That's cool. That's cool. So you're not just healing you, you know? You're helping to heal the planet. You're helping to heal everybody.
Yes. We're all doing it. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
Madison, what is your definition of sovereign? Like what does it mean to be sovereign?
That was a word that like recently came up for me. Because I think I looked up the actual definition, but I forgot like what it even said. But like sovereign, as in, um, I would feel like that seems like all. I guess you could like, I don't know like if living a human experience is illusionary in and of itself, but I guess getting rid of like the illusion of duality, the game
Mm,
that will never be won,
mm,
and that pure state, and we call it love, like that feeling, and uh, just so in tune with ourselves, where we wouldn't, I don't know, like I just picture, I was like I'm very into like the Avatar movie, like the blue people,
mhm,
you know,
mhm,
like I imagine like kind of like creatures like that all the time, like beings that are like fluid and like strong and light and like they are playing in the earth, but in a completely different way of like this such dense physical reality that like we see right now, like still.
wow.
So
So kind of moving away from separation, coming back into oneness.
yeah, I would think that like we would just feel this level of oneness in a way never felt before, um, and to really like we still have like an avatar ourselves, but it's like it's different in the way that like the world's set up,
Mhm,
you know, um, sovereign.
mhm. It's a neat word for sure. It's a neat word. Yeah.
I
Like it
feel,
has a feeling. Huh?
I think you were just gonna say what I was gonna say.
Oh, really?
Like I was gonna, because I was gonna say a feeling. It's like I don't know.
We're connected. We're
Yeah,
connected. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it does. It does have a feeling and it has an energy to it. It carries an energy signature, you know, just the word. I think when you say that word sovereign, you feel a certain type of way when you say it, you know?
yeah. I think that's why I'm drawn to it. So, um, words have not necessarily ever been like my strong point in life, you know. So I'm learning that too, like how to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
and use the words to describe the feeling, I guess. You know, I would, as a kid, I would grow up like praying, like, please, like, give me the right words. Like, I've just never been like, you know, like some people are really good with words and like that form of expression. So that's interesting. I'm
Now,
learning how to express and like
oh,
communicate with my, yeah, self.
does that also come in with your blogging? Because you do blogging, right?
I had posted like something I did in like 2018. um I was into that, and but for a little bit. I started like I really like writing poetry lately. I
Okay.
feel like
Okay.
it's like journaling, but to me it's a fun way for me. Because I'm like, I don't want to journal anymore. Like, I used to do that as a kid, but I'm like, this is the thing, like, you know, not forcing myself. So I guess it worked as a kid, but now I'm like, ugh, that sounds so boring. But when I do the poems, it's like so fun and like I can get it out still. So,
Yeah, I like poetry too. You know,
yeah.
there's there's a poem that I like. It's called, oh, what is it called? The one that could, or it couldn't be done. It couldn't be done. You ever heard that one?
No.
Okay. It's like somebody said that it couldn't be done. I'll forget. I'll remember it. I'll remember it. I'll send it to you later. It's a really good one. I think it's by Ernest A. Guest. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody said it couldn't be done.
Do you like Shel Silverstein kind of? That was
Yes.
the only person I grew up with, I feel like.
Okay. Somebody said that it couldn't be done, but he with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would be one who wouldn't say so till he tried. So he buckled right in with a trace of a grin on his face. If he worried he hid it, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. Somebody scoffed, "Oh, you'll never do that. At least no one ever has done it." But he took off his coat and he took off his hat, and the first thing we knew, he'd begun it. With the lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, without any doubting or quit it, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. There are thousands to tell you it cannot be done. There are thousands to prophesy failure. There are thousands to point out to you one by one the dangers that wait to assail you. But just buckle in with a bit of a grin. Just take off your coat and go to it. Just starting to sing as you tackle the thing that cannot be done, and you'll do it.
Oh, I love
But
that.
yeah, you know, it's like you can do anything. You've been saying this whole time. Like we have the choice. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that though, that you could just like recite the whole thing. Oh, yeah. Yep. Just got to do it. We're like in control. We're moving the body. We're moving, you know, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, lastly, I'd love to know, where can people find you if you had any services, or if you feel like people have been reaching out to you since you've been on this journey. Do you provide any services for others?
At the moment, I don't have
Mm-hmm.
anything like, oh, go here.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But maybe if somebody was just wanting to get some advice, you know, or just, you know, have a listening ear, or maybe ask you about your experience, where would you like them to go?
right now, just message me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we can like go from there. Um, I'm always learning too, but I, I, I have enough knowledge, I feel like, where I can help people if they want to start like detoxifying or eating more like uncooked foods, like recipes, whatever. There's things I do want to do. I don't have it set up right now.
Yeah.
So definitely just like on that Gentle Creature Living Instagram can
Mm-hmm.
like stay in touch for sure. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Maddisun. This has been awesome to learn more about you, to hear your story, to see your journey. And this is just such a cool path that you're on today. And I feel like it's only just going to keep on expanding. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And I was like so honored to talk with you and like thank you. I had like so much fun. I've never done lives before, so I was like kind of nervous, but I'm like, it's just a fun thing, just like talk.
Yeah, we're just talking. We're just talking. And so
I,
many people actually commented. Like, a lot of people were saying so many things. I don't know if you noticed, but I
I
can't even scroll up. Yeah.
yeah.
But so many people were jumping in, dropping hearts, really just enjoying the things that you were talking about, especially the times that you were really just delving deep into what was going on in your mind. A lot of people really resonate. So thank you for the messages and just continue. Yeah. We need it. We need it.
Thank you. Thank you for holding space and like I don't know, I would love to learn more about you too. Like your energy, I can feel it. It's like so light, so clear. It was just like it's beautiful to like yeah. It was an honor honestly for me too to like talk and like I had so much fun. So,
I'm
yeah.
glad. We'll do it again. We'll do it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Awesome. All
Mm,
right. Well, you take care.
you too. Okay, bye.
Bye bye.